Don't give a what nobody's saying about you. If you waiting for to get you lit, you never gonna be lit. Cause nobody gonna care about you like you care about it. You see your vision, run with it. Go make that happen. Like. And then once you make it happen, watch how they eat up. Watch how everybody get on board and everybody get the moving and you know what I'm saying? Like until they rock and roll, nobody give a niggas got their own life. Like.
Hey, Shalom. Praises to you, Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Barshem Rakakodashe. Much mercy to you, sincere brothers out there, the true house of David, all you brothers that are actually in the spirit and that are not being held under the law. And like my man say right here, man, you believe in something, you have to run with it. You have to run with it. Just like this new covenant, what we're seeing is this was given to certain of us and it wasn't given to all of our people. And I heard this one guy say that we came out of camps. Yeah, of course we came out of camps. The camps give you a carnal understanding of the Bible. They give you a concrete carnal understanding. I give it to them. But that's all the camps were set up for, is to give you a carnal understanding of the Bible. Now, the whole other side to this thing is certain of us were really gifted with the understanding and the mysteries. This is what this is. And now we see that everybody wasn't. They're held to a carnal standard, which they cannot escape that old law because the Lord didn't free them. You could tell because they don't believe in the new covenant. It is simple. So you see all these carnal videos these guys are doing, and that goes back to the flood and Revelations. When it talks about the enemy shall be like as a flood. Well, the flood is not Esau. The flood is lies and false doctrine and propaganda and guys on the street in these old carnal garments trying to hold you to the carnal law. The Bible is a spiritual book, and guys are trying to hold you to that old carnal law, which you cannot hold the two laws together. You're either a part of one or the other. You see what I'm saying? So if you're holding to the old law, you are cursed. And it's very easy to see. We didn't make this up. It's just that a lot of you guys have got to bounds that you can't pass. And now you actually hate us because we actually understand this and you don't. Because you're not spiritual, you're carnal. I see this one video about garments and carnal garments. Well, let me read this in Matthew 23. Then I'm going to go into this lesson real quick. It's real easy, man. And I just want to say, let these guys do the carnal attacks. Let these guys put our face up and talk about how we was in the camp years ago and certain guys that we were with bugged out. But look at all the guys that have bugged out in these fucking groups. It is upon hundreds, maybe even thousands of guys that bugged out off of these camps and these groups that have lost their family. And certain guys have went crazy. I've seen certain guys that were in these groups. So for guys to try to bring up one guy that we taught with years ago, and this guy fell off. I mean, that what can we do about that? If you're not a true believer, this ain't really for you. That's what this is. And so what you guys are showing in these groups, that you're not a true believer. You're of the old. And a lot of guys are of the old, trying to teach the new. That's what happens. When you're not really of the new and you're really of the old, that's what's going to happen. You're going to bug yourself out. But anyway, look at all these guys all these bug outs in these fucking camps over the years. Look at all these guys. You had one guy, I think you had guys doing all types of shit, man. And the guys that have fell out of these groups, and that ratio is way larger than the ratio of brothers in the new covenant. Look at all the other beautiful brothers that are growing in the spirit. You see what I'm saying? So these guys, like the brothers say, they're not going to play fair. But that's okay, because we're going to give you the understanding of the spirit, which they don't have. You see, we don't fight carnal with carnal. You have to fight the carnal with the spiritual. Therefore, there is no match for these guys except to slander, except to break the scriptures down wrong. This one guy talking about the garments in Matthew 22 is the garments of the old covenant. You're out of your mind, dude. You're out of your mind. The new covenant has its own garments, which has nothing to do with carnal borders of blue. You guys are carnal. You guys have been in this. You've been in the camp because you really haven't been in the truth. Yahawashi say, here's the truth and the way of the light. So by you being in the camp, you haven't been in the truth. You just been in the camp doctrine. Like your carnal elders. Yeah, we was in the camp too. Now we figured out these guys are carnal. This guy, this elder, he's pumping out all these carnal fucking lessons. But he's still holding you to the Levitical priesthood. Remember that. They can do all these lessons, but they're still holding you in the flesh. So it don't matter about all these fucking videos guys can do. That's why us brothers, we give you quality. We don't give you just throwing up shit about the world every fucking day. And then on top of that, holding you to the flesh. We're not here to hold you to the flesh. Like Yahawashi say, if you're going to teach the Lord, then you have to teach his doctrine. We got guys say they're teaching the Lord and they're not even teaching his doctrine, bro. It is heavy in this last day. Matthew 22, 23 and 5. This is you guys with those garments. Matthew 23 and 5. But all of their works they do to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries, and they enlarge the borders of their garments, and love the othermost rooms at feasts, and the chief seats in the synagogues, and the greetings in the markets, and to be called of men, Rabbi, Rabbi. You see that? These guys love to be seen in them hot-ass garments. This is one of the major reasons why they want to hold the old law, so they can be seen in them hot-ass garments. Now, understanding that the garments in Matthew 22 are the fruits of the Spirit, which you guys don't have. So you're naked. You're naked out there with those hot-ass garments on. That's heavy. Matthew 16. Yeah, and so guys, they can slander us. It's a good thing you guys are slandering us, because that shows that this new covenant is really reaching certain people. And I seen a video one of the brothers sent me. This new covenant is out there. So at this point, you guys can it's gonna be made clearer and clearer. You guys are teaching lies and holding to the flesh. You're not, and none of you guys are in the spirit in these camps. You're all carnal. You don't have nothing but murder in your heart and envy. Your elders, the 40 years of Saul, that 40 years is up now, because the new covenant is being taught. That's why the house of Saul is waxing weak, because their time is up. They're teaching in hate. They don't worship Yahawashi. This whole Israelite thing is about worshiping men and their doctrine. It is not about freeing you to the Lord. All right. Revelation 16 and 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they shall see his shame. And this reprobate, one of these guys from Boston, he's saying that the garments is the fucking border of blue, the carnal garments. It's not talking about that. That shows you guys are carnal and you don't have an understanding. You're a bunch of brute beasts, which the Lord hath not revealed nothing unto you. By you holding to the camps and to that old law, you are dead to the spirit. Like Paul said, we are dead to that law. Let's read this in Romans. You guys have no understanding. You're naked with the garments on. How does that work? Well, I tell you, you don't have no spiritual understanding. That is your garments, the mind of the Lord. You're not sealed in your mind because you don't even agree with the covenant. So you can never be sealed. Romans 7 and 6, but now we are delivered from the law. But now we are delivered from the law. But now we are delivered from the law. It means what it means. And you got reprobates in the new covenant holding to the law. And a lot of you guys, other new covenant too, you don't really understand the Gentiles because you don't have mercy. When you go to the old law, yes, the Maccabees, they fought to keep the old law. But you got to understand, after the Maccabees and after Solomon and after everybody, when the Lord came in the first century, this is a whole new thing. which we're figuring out that a lot of you guys cannot dance to the new song of the Lord. A lot of you guys are just carnal. You're still of the world. You don't have mercy in you. A lot of you don't. You still holding to the old law because you're of the old law. And so that's what happened. You have a few guys that came into this back a few years ago we used to be with, and they're still holding to the old law. A lot of guys have not been made free. So if you're not been made free, that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get bugged out. I don't even like saying that word, bugged out, but the Lord's gonna cast you out because you're not really a part of this. The new covenant is a spiritual thing, and a lot of you guys are not a part of it. You're carnal. And the indication is holding to the law. You don't need the law. Yahawashi is the law. He has his own law. But you guys are carnal because this don't have nothing to do with you. Romans 7:6. But now we are delivered from the law. From the law. That being dead when we were held, that we should serve the newness of the spirit and not the oldness of the letter. So we're not serving the oldness of the old law. We're not serving that. You guys talking about, you guys have no understanding of the garments in Matthew 22. You should just put the Bible down, bro. You guys have been in the truth 15, 20 years and however long, and your carnal is all out hell because you're holding to the old law. You don't understand that. Now, I want to read something. What was that, Luke? Yeah, you got to understand that Isaiah right here in Luke, he was reading from the book of Isaiah. So the book of Isaiah, I think it was Isaiah 61. I think so. But he was letting you know, and Isaiah prophesied Yahawashi coming to free us from that law. Well, the thing about us is only talking about a few. It's only talking about the elect, the remnant. So you're not the remnant holding to the old law. All right. So if you're wearing garments and you're holding the old law, you are not the elect. That is not the new song, holding men to the old law. And you got this guy in Dallas. He's all mixed up. And then this other guy in South Carolina, they're carnal. So the only thing they can do is slander you. They can't go toe to toe teaching this doctrine. The way you hurt these guys is just continue teaching the new covenant correctly. This is how you hurt them. Because by this understanding going out, they're being exposed. So it don't matter. They're elders and these guys doing all these fucking videos because they're carnal. They're carnal videos. They're carnal, man. They're not teaching you to be free. This is Luke 4:14. It says, and Yahawashi returned to the power of the Spirit into Galilee, and there went out a fame of him through all the region round about. So the fame of the teaching of the new covenant, it is out there, but it's not a part of the world, so it's not really compatible to have like a place in the world like that. That's why these guys have a place in the world, because they're holding you to the Levitical
And Jesus
priesthood.
returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee.
Salakia. So this new covenant doesn't have nothing to do with the world. That's why when they wanted to put the Lord in the spot, get a Lord a position, he ran away. You guys run right to it because you're carnal. You're supposed to keep a low profile as much as possible. But you guys are carnal. It's all out hell. So therefore, you don't understand the new covenant and what the Lord came to do. He came to free certain of us from the law. And a lot of you guys are locked into the law because you're bound to it. You're not free. It's all in your spirit. You're bound to the law. Yes, we know. You guys are still of the law. We know that, all right? We understand that. So you're not of the elect doing that. And you could believe it or not. You see, the majority of you are not going to get it. You're going to perish in everlasting life. And the Lord said, what's that? An incorrupt balance is an abomination. So if it's a eternal paradise, there's an eternal damnation. All right. You guys have no spiritual understanding because you're not spiritual. I sat up and listened to one video of this elder last night, this guy, and they're carnal, man. They're talking about beating women and You guys are just horrible. You're horrible, man, because you're against God. Luke 4 and 14. Even just pushing that out there like that. You guys are talking about women. You're supposed to be talking about the Lord, but you can't talk about the Lord because you're in the old covenant. The Lord ain't in the old covenant. Crazy, bro. All you guys are holding to the old law. Certainly you guys are the new covenant. Let me read this. Luke 4 and 14. And Yahawashi returned in the power of the Spirit of Galilee, and there went out a fame of him through all the region about. The new covenant is out there. And he taught in their synagogues, being glorified of all. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. As the custom, he went to the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read. For there was delivered unto him the book of Isaiah the prophet. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, and have anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. And he hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, and to preach deliverance to the captive. To preach deliverance to the captives. Yahawashi is making you free from that old law, from the being captive of the law. Guys are holding you in a captivity because they're holding you in the old law, man. That's what this whole thing is about. Guys are holding you captive. So when they say he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, well, a lot of you going to go into captivity and you're going to be held captive in hell. Eternal damnation. Yes, how can you escape how can you escape the damnation of hell? The Lord is talking about eternal damnation. Well, the majority of people are going to be caught off. Isaiah seen that. Edris seen that vision. These prophets seen this place where you guys are going to be cut off. They understood it. You guys don't because you're carnal. So the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit is hating the new covenant. All right? That's what this is. Hating the Spirit, that's the blasphemy. So you're not blaspheming until you hate the teaching of the new covenant. The spirit of it. This is what the Lord said. So these guys in these camps, you're carnal. Nobody's blaspheming against you guys because your carnal is all out of hell. You don't even believe. But for ones that actually believe, if you come against them and you hate the new covenant, then that's blasphemy. You can't be forgiven for hating the spirit of the new covenant. The new covenant doctrine demon. That is a form of blasphemy because you don't fucking believe. So this is real easy for us, man. This is light work. You guys are light because you're carnal. And you're holding men to that heavy law. But you guys are light work because you're not spiritual. So you can't see what this thing is. Luke 4 and 18. For the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, and because he have anointed me to preach to the poor, and he have sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captive, and the recovering of the sight to the blind, to set liberty to them that are bruised. So the Lord came to free you from that old law, to teach the acceptable year of the Lord. And he closed the book and gave it again to the minister, and sat down, and the eyes of all them were in the synagogue were fastened on him. So all eyes are on this new covenant right now. That's why you brothers have to keep it spiritual. You defeat these guys by being spiritual. You don't defeat these guys by being carnal. Now it says, he began to say unto them, this day is the scripture fulfilled in your ear. This day the scriptures fulfilled in your ear. What did the Lord mean is fulfilled? Just like he said in John 17, it is finished. That means the new covenant started. So all you guys don't believe that it started, you're just unbelievers. That's all. It's not Yahawashi, it's you guys don't believe, because the Lord did what he was supposed to do. He says, and all bear witness and wonder at gracious word, and proceeded out of his mouth. And they say, is this not Joseph's son? And he said unto them, ye shall surely say unto this proper, a physician will heal thyself. Whosoever have heard on Capernaum, do also hear in the council. And they verily said unto him, no prophet is accepted in his own country. Right, so you're not supposed to be honored. The true men of the Lord are not accepted. And it goes into how the Lord only sent Elijah for that one woman. Luke 4:25, but I tell you of the truth, many widows in Israel were in the day of Elias, when the heaven was shut up 3 years and 6 months, when the great famine was throughout the land. But none of them was Elias sent, save Sarepta, the city of Sinai, unto a woman, a widow. So this is what the Lord is telling them. The Lord is not sent to all you guys holding to that old law. And this is the spirit of that synagogue when he was teaching in it. And many lepers were in Israel in that time of Elijah the prophets. And none of them was cleansed, saving Naaman the Syrian. And all in the synagogue, when they heard this, they were filled with wrath. Just like a lot of you guys in these camps, you're filled with wrath because you're understanding you don't have nothing to do with the spirit. And they rose up to thrust him out of the city and led him to the brow of the hill wherein the city was built, and they might cast him down headlong. So they're in the spirit of hate and murder right now because the new covenant is actually going out. And it does not include all of our people. So repent to the new covenant. You cannot fight carnal with carnal. You have to fight carnal with the spiritual, which they are no match for this new covenant. Their arms are too short. So we are free from that law. You guys that are holding to it, you're of the world. You're carnal. All of you guys, even you guys in the new covenant that's holding to the old law. You're carnal, man. Repent to the new covenant. Hey, with that, hey, shalom.
A lecture. Hey,